ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this next video I'd like to go ahead and do. I'm going to do a short random wrestling talk episode, episode number 28, I would believe. I'm going to be doing this today by myself, unfortunately, simply because of the fact that, and this is actually going to be a short video for random wrestling talk. Usually it goes about 40 to an hour and 20 minutes. But today it's going to be a little bit less than that, quite a bit less, simply because of the fact I'm doing this by myself. Matthew is got a bit of a problem with his internet connection, as well as John is in the midst of working. So soon enough, me, John, and Matthew will get back the tripod team back together again once we move these episodes of Random Wrestling Talk onto Thursday nights, which will happen next week. This is the finale, so I pretty much want to give a little bit of thoughts on what happened at UFC 200 Brock Lesnar. Well, simple as this. Brock Lesnar outperformed himself. I thought he was going to get beat. I was hoping he wouldn't, which thank God he didn't. I think if he would have lost to Mark Hunt, he would have lost a lot of credibility on WWE TV programming. The honest truth is that's how I feel about it, and here's the reason why. I'll give you my explanation. I mean, come on. You go into the middle of a ring in the octagon. You face a guy who has only a 12-10 record with one draw, and you're a UFC former heavyweight champion. You're also a big-time name in WWE wrestling, and you lose to that chump. I mean, no offense to Mark Hunt. He's got great knockout power ability, but he ain't no wrestler, and he sure as hell can't box. He's just a brawler. Brock Lesnar looked very hesitant to throw punches standing up. He was very, he played it safe, pretty much, which was very smart on his part overall, because he's in the midst with a big-time opponent, well, not really a big-time opponent, but a guy that could have knocked him clean on his ass. And I don't know if anyone's noticed this. Brock Lesnar has a problem, and my father, who is very knowledgeable about boxing and everything else, and I love talking about boxing and UFC with my dad, and he said one thing that he noticed about Brock Lesnar is that's really bad. He can't take a punch. He gets punched real well, and you hit him, he's got glass jaw. He'll go down in an instant. And I've seen that quite a few times with Brock Lesnar. He even got a decent punch thrown on him by Mark Hunt, and he kind of got a little wobbly. So he did a smart move. He put Mark Hunt to the ground. He beat him down and won by unanimous decision. No doubt about it. It was great performance by Brock Lesnar. He's got great wrestling ability, and I'm very happy for him that he did great in that fight. I would definitely love to see him eventually, maybe even challenge for the UFC title. It was mentioned on JD from New York 206 as a off the script episode, talking about possibility of Brock Lesnar competing for a UFC title shot while he's still with WWE at the same time. I think that would be outstanding, especially for WWE's purposes. I think it would be great for UFC. I mean, they would bring all kinds of different audience to both shows. I mean, you get to see Brock Lesnar, the WWE fans will get to see Brock Lesnar competing in a real sport, and the fans that aren't too familiar with wrestling, that's in fans of UFC, and they're not too familiar with professional wrestling like WWE, and they don't really care for it, Brock Lesnar might bring some of that interest to WWE, and WWE might gain some more popularity again, unlike what they've been gaining over the last year and a half, which has been pretty bad. Absolute fucking shit, to be quite honest with you and quite frank with you. So yeah, great opportunity for Brock Lesnar, WWE and UFC all around. All three parties have a great opportunity to make some serious fucking money and get a lot of attention. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns. I'm not here to bash Roman Reigns, talk shit about Roman Reigns, or say anything that's mean, derogatory, or anything else in between, but what the fuck? I can't help it. I love talking shit about Roman Reigns. He is absolute, complete, and utter crap. Okay? Simple as that. You guys like rants, you love hearing me rant. You guys haven't heard me rant in a long fucking time. On just a regular video by myself. Always having other people talk and interrupting me and things of that sort, or I'm interrupting them and blah, blah, blah. Point is, this is absolute, complete, and utter crap with Roman Reigns. Last night, they're giving Roman Reigns more credibility than a damn WWE Championship belt. In all honesty, this belt should be centered around Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns should be out of the fucking picture, not even to be looked at. But, some great news. Here is some awesome and fantastic news that I read on NoDQ.com, which I think is the most reputable website to go to get information, because a lot of information that is said by JD from New York 206, not saying that he doesn't give credible information, it's a lot of skepticism. A lot of stuff that comes off of NoDQ.com actually gives more reality facts, and they don't release as much information because they probably don't want to release false or just potential information that could happen. Most of the time, this information is downright to the T and almost as, pretty much exact of what happens later on WWE programming. So, what I read on NoDQ.com is Vince McMahon is getting sick of Roman Reigns. I read that there is a possibility that his interest is in Seth Rollins being the head guy of Raw, AJ Styles being the head guy of SmackDown. If this story is true, I will be happier than a pig in shit. This guy, Roman Reigns, is like Lex Luger. He cannot wrestle, neither can Lex Luger. I watched Lex Luger on that episode of October 21st, Nitro from 1996 against this guy, Roadblock. Unbelievable, shitty, fucking match. If you didn't watch the review yet, please check that video out. That is in my in your subscription box, so please check that one out. It'll definitely give you some information on what my opinion is. But I'll just extend a little bit more on that. But just for, if you want to check out some other stuff about what I had to say about the whole overall episode, go ahead and check it out. You'll love what I have to say, even though it is a horrible episode, not pay-per-view. But, yeah, Roman Reigns is like Lex Luger, and like I was saying, Lex Luger was competing against this guy, Roadblock. Complete botch after botch after botch with the fucking torture rack. Couldn't get the guy up on his shoulder. It took 3 times. Eric Bischoff and the announce team had to fix the situation and make it look like he was trying to make attempts. In all honesty, it was just Lex Luger could not lift this fucker up because he was just fucking up, period. There's nothing to be said about that. Roman Reigns is not much different. Roman Reigns is not exciting. He does the same fucking moves over and over and over again every freaking match. John Cena was a lot like that. But there was a difference between John Cena and Roman Reigns. And here's the difference. John Cena has charisma. Roman Reigns is like a block of ice who has no characteristics, no nothing. He's a complete and utter bore. There's nothing exciting about him. He's just a fucking bland character. That's why it's best for him, when he gets back, to be a heel, hate on the fans, say I don't give a shit and I have no fucking remorse of what I did. I'm not sorry to you people and you can all kiss my ass. Simple as that. And that's all that needs to be said. That is the way that's going to make Roman Reigns become successful as a heel. Granted, does he have a problem wrestling? Yes. But if you give him a character that he can work with, despite the issue with his wrestling ability, he will be worthy of being in a main event spot within WWE and give him a better look and spotlight on him, and he's going to work better as a heel than as a face. Simple as that. The other issue is, while while he becomes a heel, they ought to try to get him to perform new and different moves. Since he is changing his character, he might as well change his moves too. So that might be a helpful thing for them to do as well. So I think that's what they need to go with. That's what they need to do on Roman Reigns to get him where he needs to be and get him to where they want him to be for the future when John Cena's done. Now, talking about the draft from last night, well, not the draft, but the announcement that Vince McMahon had to say about this issue, making Shane McMahon the commissioner of SmackDown, Stephanie McMahon the commissioner of Raw. I liked it in a way. It was predictable, though. It didn't bring... It should have been the mid-portion of the show. It should have been around 10 o'clock. I think they should have had Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose as the WWE Championship main event. I think that should have happened in Detroit. And so forth. So I really think they should have done that. Had Vince McMahon and the McMahon family be at the 10 o'clock hour, because this was a very predictable situation. It made a lot of sense to put Shane on SmackDown because Shane did not earn the right to run Raw because of the fact that he went ahead and lost to The Undertaker. So he is getting no right whatsoever to really run Raw. And for him to be able to say that, oh, I get to run SmackDown and we get to run Raw? No, that's not how that should work. So they did the right move on that, number one. Giving more reason to keep Shane McMahon around for whatever fucked up reason they decided to do what they did with Shane McMahon in the beginning. So I really appreciate that. The other thing is Shane McMahon got a winner here. His character's not going to have to worry about but 2 hours worth of work. He's going to have a half a roster that's going to be doable with a 2-hour show. Stephanie's going to have the biggest workload because she's going to have a half a roster with a 3-hour fucking show. And chances are they're going to have nothing but the so-called top dogs in WWE on Raw, and the mid-card to, partial main eventers on SmackDown. So I'm very certain they're going to have guys like Cesaro. They're going to have guys like fucking, I would have to say probably either Rusev or The Miz, one of those two. Hope Rusev more than The Miz. I fucking absolutely hate The Miz. I can't stomach him. I think I hate him more than I hate Roman Reigns, to be honest with you. They're also going to probably have guys like fucking AJ Styles, of course. They're going to have guys like Dean Ambrose, more than likely. I think that's what they're going to do. Probably shift Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns on Raw and have Dean Ambrose on SmackDown, which would leave a very good rivalry between a face and a heel, such as AJ and Dean Ambrose. So that should be a very entertaining move if they decide to go with that. John Cena more than likely will be on Raw. I'm just kind of giving you an overall perspective of what I think might happen with this WWE draft deal. So, that's pretty much it. I mean, the whole deal with this draft is SmackDown's going to benefit from this very easily. They're going to have a decent way of making storylines. They're going to have a lot of enjoyable things going on SmackDown. It's going to be well worth everyone's time to invest and watch this shit. It's going to feel like watching Raw, only it's SmackDown. You're going to get the talented wrestlers on SmackDown more than likely. You're pretty much going to have the independent scene type of feel to SmackDown. Even though it's going to have the glimpse and the glamour, and also it might have some changes to SmackDown, whatever they decide to do, which I hope that happens. I hope it's not just the white ropes. I hope they go with the color ropes again with Raw and SmackDown and not make it a fucking complete dull, boring set and scenery for the audience to watch when they watch the show, as well as for the people in the audience. And stop playing these Mickey Mouse dumb games. Make it serious. Do something that's going to be worth people's time and investment Show that you care about your product. Show that you care about your fans, too. I mean, come on. They're the ones coming in there wasting their fucking money to watch your shit. At least give them the decency of entertaining them in the meantime. You know, give them something that's worth watching, what they agree with at times, and do something that, you know, give them twists and turns, but then at the end of the day, give them what they should expect or what they should want. So that's all that really needs to be said. This opportunity might turn into a great deal, especially for SmackDown. For Raw, I see it as a possible great deal. I think if they change it to a 2-hour episode instead of 3, they will have good shows every single week as well. That's my overall opinion on that. If they don't, they're gonna be up a creek without a paddle, basically. And that's not really a good idea to be in. So my overall opinion, this is going to definitely benefit SmackDown a hell of a lot more. It should be interesting who they have as their general managers. And if overall, if the rumors are true, Vince McMahon's getting sick and tired of Roman Reigns his own self, then this should leave a lot of entertaining, it should leave a lot of interest to want to watch Raw too. Because I'm very certain Roman Reigns will be on Monday Night Raw. And I hope that's where he stays, because I do not want to see him on SmackDown. I want to watch 2-hour episodes, not 3. And for SmackDown to now finally have its own roster and its own World Heavyweight Champion, I will definitely be able to enjoy watching that shit. But anyway, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a short episode of Random Wrestling Talk, but I do thank you very much for watching it. It was a pleasure speaking to you guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode, even though it was short and sweet to the point. I wish I could do that all the time, but who the fuck cares? Who wants to do that? It's great to have multiple guys talking at one time, sharing their ideas and opinions, and so forth. But at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I got nothing more to talk about. It was a great time talking to you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Leave your comments and opinions down below. Lay the smackdown on that subscribe button. And guys, have a great night and enjoy the rest of your night. Excuse me, let me rephrase that again. Please enjoy your night and have a great night, guys.